The 2018 horror film Annihilation, based on the book of the same name by Jeff Vandermeer, leans heavily into sci-fi as well as Lovecraftian and cosmic horror, as the premise surrounds a science-oriented team of women sent through the Shimmer into Area X, a slowly expanding zone which distorts and mutates flora and fauna brought on by an alien presence which arrived on Earth via a meteor, in order to investigate and study its properties. Leading this team is former soldier Lena, whose husband and current soldier Kane was the only surviving member of a previous all-male army expedition sent in a year prior for similar reasons. Though each team likely had different objectives, both actually share something in common: their uniforms. Lena and Kane's teams wore Helicon Tex brand uniforms, both of which share similarities but also a few differences. Lena's team wore a mix of coyote-colored SFU Next, or Special Forces Uniform Next, duty shirts, granted with the removal of the shoulder pockets and all hook and loop name tapes and rear neck squares, and a coyote-colored first-generation BDU trousers, while Kane's wore the CPU, or Combat Patrol uniform, bearing what looks to be multicam but is actually a slightly different design called Camouflage, seeing very minor tweaks to it such as color count and shading. Apart from the military team wearing a camouflage and more advanced-looking uniform, while the science team wore a more simplified and traditional-looking one, which harkens back to expeditionary ones, the choice to select these is a bit interesting. This decision may have just been the wardrobe department selecting them from the same source, but it also could have been intentional, as the movie's themes as well as location plays around the idea of refractions, copies, similarities, and duplication, all with slight variance and changes. Expanding upon this slightly, with it almost assuredly being unintentional, the camouflage design seen on the Kane team uniforms originally had connections to a camouflage pattern used by select Polish special forces referred to as Suez. At some point, Helicon Tex began producing commercial pieces bearing a nearly identical design of it under the name Camogram, which saw the name embedded into the design. In 2020, though, the company announced they were discontinuing the production of all pieces in the pattern, saying that they would be switching to multicam moving forward. Because of this, speculation and theories arose, ranging from production limitations due to COVID-19 to Camogram not being as popular as multicam, as the latter was now much more readily available, to perhaps the most popular, that Cry Precision, the company that created the original multicam design, put a stop to it, as they had a history of going after producers and distributors of copies and lookalike designs.